Fateh challenged Jeff Hayden in the August primary and won both that and the general election to represent Senate District 62, a section of South Minneapolis. I spoke with Senator-elect Fateh this week, and I began by asking him what prompted him to run against such a well-known and well-established DFL senator.
Thank you to the Capitol Report for having me here today, and I look forward to our conversation. So I ran because I wanted to be a senator that people would hear from, right? We took that head on by organizing and being present, keeping in contact with residents of District 62 from the early on stages of the caucus and the convention, educating them on how that would look like and what that's about through the primary. So this campaign was about uplifting the voices of renters and understanding that we have an incredibly diverse district, right? A district that's working class, made up of ESPs, educational support professionals, coffee baristas. So seeing them come out and vote for a new senator that represents working class people specifically highlighted the unmet need that just wasn't being addressed at the Capitol. So our district is made up of folks that believe healthcare is a right and should not be tied to employment. And they want a livable wage as well as truly affordable housing. So these were the things that we highlighted that allowed us to build a multiracial and multi-generational movement that we want to bring with us to the Capitol.
And so is that sort of what you meant when you said on the night that you won the primary, quote, "This is what it looks like to hold power to account. This is what it looks like to win for change." Is that what you meant?
Well, I think there's no secret that there are entrenched power structures within not just Minneapolis, but Minnesota politics, right? And a lot of money is generally spent against challengers. So what we did is we organized through people power. And I think that spoke to the willingness of the people that wanted to see that working class agenda be pushed for as a collective. We got neighbors not to only vote for themselves, but for their neighbors as well, right? And so for this, I guess for this victory, what that means is that working class people feel that they will be represented in a district that is largely BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And now in my position, I too will be held accountable. So I'm looking forward and honored to represent everybody.
Now, there are a few firsts with this incoming Senate class, and you are one of them. You are the first person of Somali descent to win election to the Minnesota Senate. According to the Sahan Journal, your parents immigrated separately from Somalia to pursue educational opportunities, and you were born and grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. What brought you to Minnesota?
Yeah, absolutely. My father actually immigrated here in 1963 on a college scholarship, and he was placed on Montana State University. My mother came a little bit later in the 70s to New York, and eventually they settled, and I was born in Washington, D.C., raised in Northern Virginia. But growing up, Minnesota was always my second home, and after finishing my master's, I made it my first home, right? I love the community here. And I met my beautiful wife, Kulthum, right? And we settled here in South Minneapolis, so I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
In addition to being the first Somali-American to join the Senate, you are also among the youngest new Senate members. You call yourself a community activist and wrote on your campaign website that you've spent your career working to, quote, "empower people from underserved communities to excel in higher education, participate in government, and organize for our shared future." How will that background and perspective translate for you into now that of a lawmaker?
Yeah, so even as an elected senator, I will continue to organize. That will never stop. And what we did is we educated the folks in our district and our volunteers that this position of being an elected, whether you're a state representative, a senator, city council member, is just more than passing laws and bringing money into our communities. It's about giving people a real chance to speak to their government and have a direct hand in the decision-making process. So our people in our district and in Minnesota need jobs, they need money to pay for rent, they need housing that is truly affordable, and they want healthcare that's not tied to employment, that's guaranteed, and they need a livable wage, right? So coming in as a freshman, I wouldn't have the institutional power that an incumbent would have. So I would rely heavily on the community, the folks that got me elected, the people in our district, to push for all of these issues that we highlighted and for that working class agenda.
You describe yourself as a democratic socialist activist. What does that mean?
Yes, well, it means that I believe that everybody should have healthcare, regardless of employment status. Housing should be a right, and people shouldn't struggle with food insecurity. Nobody should have to worry about putting food on the table for themselves or their families if they don't have a job, right? So for me, being a democratic socialist, that's my identity, and I ran as that rather than just a progressive because to me, the term progressive seemed to have had a distinct meaning at one time, but it seemed to have changed to a spectrum, right? Where you can be a progressive but take money from big oil companies, or you can be a progressive but not be for Medicare for all. But as a democratic socialist, we believe that healthcare is a right, housing is a right, and that we need to address these basic needs of everybody.
George Floyd was killed in your district, and I'm sure that you have had many conversations with constituents about that. The legislature did respond in July by passing the Minnesota Police Accountability Act, which, among other things, bans chokeholds and requires other officers to intervene when excessive force is being used. What more needs to be done to rebuild trust between people of color and the police?
Yes, thank you. That's a great question. And first, I would like to thank the Posse Caucus for working as quickly as they did, especially in a gridlock legislature. I know that was extremely tough, and they really worked hard on this. Um, I recognize also that chokeholds are banned in a lot of cities, but police brutality still happens. Folks in Minneapolis and in our district are pushing to rather fund social programs that would curb violence rather than continuing to criminalize poverty. So we have to understand that people tend to resort to crime because there are no jobs and that they're lacking housing or because of food insecurity, right? So just in my district this past summer, we saw the police going after homeless people simply because they didn't have a place to live. And I think that was wrong. So our district is pretty clear on what they want. They want to divest from police and instead invest in community. And the police are just right now not functioning in a way that they're supposed to. Right now, there's a misconception that the increase in crime throughout Minneapolis is because that the police has been already defunded, but that's not the case. They have not been defunded. In fact, they are still very well funded. And this is really about meeting the basic needs of the people, right? And ultimately, I don't believe that the police are the answer to these questions. People need to see an investment in their community. And people are struggling with housing, as I mentioned before, with healthcare. They need accessible public transportation. So I think these are the areas that we should rather focus on instead.
Senator-elect Omar Fateh, I want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.